Hello, hello. Sorry I'm running a little late. Oh, my dog. Think someone's here, but it's just us. Sorry if he barks. How's everyone doing today? It's hot here. It's really hot. So I apologize if you hear the fan running up there, but I think it's going to be about 89 degrees today. And it's probably already 75 inside my house. So, welcome to my channel. I don't see anyone in here at the moment. That's okay. Okay. I'm assuming that a couple people will show up. This happened last time. I don't know. It's an odd time of day. On the Pacific Coast, it's halfway through lunchtime, and on the East Coast, it's right before people get off work if they go into work. Now my dog and cat are playing like they're best friends, so you're going to hear my cat acting like something terrible is happening in the background, but it's not. My name is Lucinda. This is my channel, Fantastic Finds. I have put in the very first chat box that I'm glad you're here. And if you choose to bid and win on an item today, I need your YouTube name, your real name, your address with zip code, and your PayPal link. If you don't have a PayPal account, you can check out as a guest. I only use PayPal, and I put my email address in there. You need to send me all that information within 24 hours. Otherwise, I will pass your item to the next person or bring it to another sale. My email is mscwalker, WALKER, at att.net. How's everyone else's weather? How's everyone else's day? Nobody's here. You know, if this continues to be an odd time of day for me to have this sale, or I don't know, or if I, only get 6 or 8 people, I'm going to start not spending my time, which I value a lot, and I know all of you value yours as well, going through all my items, but I will randomly pick and choose 10 things and show them as if people were here, and then back out and close the sale. Because while I am building my channel, and I have gotten a ton of support in people subscribing to my channel, which I really appreciate. A lot of people have come in and have had to struggle a lot longer than I have to get 100 subscribers. I mean, shout out to the Colemans at the Traveling Button, and Oak Grove Mercantile, Miss Pamela Blanchard, and several others who have got me to this position so quickly. That said, subscribers are great, but if no one's attending, then nothing's happening. So last time, my last sale last week, which was my third, this is my fourth, I spent about a half an hour filling dead air. And in reviewing that and watching how long the live went because of that, I can't do that anymore. So again, just like last time. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to my homestead. This is where I live when I'm not down in the Bay Area caretaking for my father, who lost his wife and my mother 16 months ago, and I have been his primary source of running the household and making sure everything's on track since then. And of course, I was greatly involved with my mother's illness, hospice, and passing for 2 years prior to that. So when I get to come home and be here in my homestead in the middle of a tiny little rural valley right over from the coast in California, I have a grove of redwood trees, oak trees, pine trees, and I get to spend time with just me and my animals, breathe the fresh air. It makes me really happy. So I'm glad to be here. And I wish other people were here. I know there's some people that subscribe to me that get notifications. But again, maybe it's just an odd time of day. So I'm going to take a couple bites of yogurt, just like last time. And then I'm not going to sit and fill dead air. But I do, just so anyone here who doesn't do live sales, and most of you that come on, I know, and I know that you're in a lot of live sales, so you know this. It takes a lot of work this is a business. This is my business, one of my businesses. It takes a lot of work to go and curate the items, which means going and buying them, not necessarily from one place, cleaning the items, researching the items, then deciding which items I'm going to bring, gathering them, creating a preview, uploading it to here and Instagram, writing out a sheet with pertinent details and measurements and prices, and then coming here and blocking out this time to be with y'all. So, to make less than $10 an hour just isn't my thing. I enjoy doing this more than anything. Vintage and antique is my thing. Glass, ceramics, jewelry, kitsch, pretties, bent, scratched, a little broken, a little worn, a little tarnished. I love it and I want to save it. And I buy what I like and then I try to pass it on to you. But if no one's here, I can't pass it on to you. And I'm 8 minutes in. And for people who don't do live sales, there's a little person up top, and I can see if anyone's here. Because a lot of people come and they don't engage in the chat. They just lurk and they watch. And then if they see an item, they might bid. Or, they're just wanting to relax and look at some great stuff. And they just hang out. So I can see if anyone's here. And 9 minutes in, no one's here. Now, I got 2 likes, which is really nice. But it doesn't help me financially. It might help my channel one day if I continue to do a channel. Because I have to output the money to purchase the things, to bring the things, to clean the things, to do all the things in order to have a sale. Now, I am going to participate in an upcoming drop sale, and I am going to collaborate with someone in November. So that's good, and that's great. And I could do more collabs in the beginning, but that also takes time. So I would prefer to just do this on my own and be able to, like my first 2 lives, go through in an hour and a half. 10 minutes in, and I can see that I have one person. But like I said, I'm not, I know it's an odd time, and I appreciate everyone who shows up. But I'm not going to fill a half an hour of dead space like I did last time. And then, I don't do recaps. I don't do recaps unless I went through everything in an hour and there were people here. And then I would go through and briefly talk about the items. And if anyone wanted to see them, I would show them again. So, whoever you are that's here, thank you for popping on and saying hello. I appreciate it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show one item. And if nobody's shown up by then, I'll consider closing the sale. It's just, I'm sorry, y'all, but it's not, it's just not economically feasible for me to ramble on to myself in a video. It's really not. So I will show this one item, and then if someone sees that item later and is interested, you can email me at the email that is in the first box of the chat. Okay? And we can talk about it. So, I'll do these. First item I'm going to show you is these Kutani, hand painted in Japan. So they're Japanese plates. They are covered on the edges, and they're in the middle on the gentleman and the two ladies. Also up here in the middle with 24 karat gold. This is a old traditional painting of a family out taking a walk past the cherry tree with the river and the mountain back to home. Some of the features are raised. This cherry tree is raised. Let's see if I can get that in there. See how it sparkles? There's virtually nowhere these. Let's see. There you go. Do you see how it's little bumps? The cherry blossoms are raised and almost sparkly. There's actually literally little bumps underneath this paint. All this paint is raised. The black paint, the gold, there's nowhere. Here's the older make of Made in Japan on the back. I believe these are from the 1930s from my research. They're about 4.5 inches wide. I have 4 of them. They are virtually identical. And I'm starting them at $33. They are not saucers for teacups. They are decorative, fancy dinner plates. And I think they're beautiful. I snatched these up really fast. You can see, I'll show you on this one. Nowhere. That's not where. That's just where the paint didn't go. I don't think these were ever actually used for anything. I think they would be beautiful displayed on a wall or putting a thin piece of saran wrap on this and putting some actual Japanese food like rice cakes or mochi on here at an elegant dinner party. They've never had the wall plate hangers on them. They're absolutely stunning. Made in Japan. $33 start. Like I said, I have 4 of them. No chips, no cracks. Each one is the exact same. I think it'd be great to have this whole set, right? Dinner plates, dessert plates. I just put saran wrap over them and I'd use them. Okay. Well, that's one item. And I'm 16 minutes in. And I've got 2 people. So start 33, and I'm going to say pass. I'm going to do one more item, and then we're going to see if anyone actually says hello or if I'm going to close the sale. Okay, this is something that everyone knows. What is it? Fenton Daisy's button. Top hat. Matches because it's rough cut, diamond cut, this daisy and buttons. So you can strike your matches, or toothpick holder. This one is a lighter blue. It does not have the Fenton mark, which means it had a sticker. So 1970s, 80s. I can't recall exactly when this got put out. There is one tiny little let's see if I can. Do you see right here? And I'm not sure actually if this is, I can feel it with my hand, but I'm not sure if it was a chip or if it happened in the manufacturing process. But I will call it a tiny ding just for the sake of keeping it clean. Because these were, hold on. No, you see, it's at both ends, and these fins were molded together at the seams, and there's one on both sides. So I'm going to say they were from manufacturers. Sparkle is beautiful. It is 2.5 inches tall by 3 inches wide. Starts at 18, as I typed in the chat. Matches my nails. These were going for, geez, what, like $50 a year and a half ago? Just market-driven, insane prices. 18 is totally reasonable at this point. And they're actually, because they were market-driven and everyone wanted them, they're harder to find right now because everyone has them in there. Hidey hole. Sound is cutting out. Karen. Hi, Karen. How are you? Is it my fan? I mean, my microphone. Let's see. I see the microphone moving. Karen, can you hear me now? That old joke. Can you hear me now, Karen? Let me know, please. I am in the country, and the internet up here runs at a slow. It's not 5 gig. It's definitely slower, but it's not bad. Geez. Up until 10 years ago, it was pretty bad. Okay. And then let me know, Karen. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to say pass. on the Fenton blue hat for $18. 2.5 inches tall, 3 inches wide. Oh, good. It was you. Because, Karen, honestly, it could be me up here in the middle of nowhere. My internet just takes a dive or it does weird things. And because I'm in the middle of nowhere, I have very little control. So, good. Okay. So, Karen, I showed a set of hand-painted Japanese plates, 4 of them, $33. And I'll just show you one more time. These, the 24 karat gold is up the top, the rims in the actual plate itself on the people. They are 4.5 inches tall. I have 4 of them. There's no wear whatsoever. The texture is raised in many places. Yep. I'm always going to, hi, Karen Williams. I'm always going to be up against someone, and he's a pretty hard person to be up against. Actually chose this time. So those were 33. I actually chose this time so as to not be up against Amy and Jason, Mother Tucker's and Enamour Amy. So, but I didn't check that Michael was also, oh well. That's why. That's some pretty good competition. Okay, so next up, it's going to start at 25. I appreciate you showing up, considering that he's done. But first, let me put pass and alive. Okay, start at 25. This is a crystal cut lidded Art Deco mustard jar, square cut. It's the 1930s, 1940s. This thing is incredible. Let me show you the lid. No chips, no cracks. This reminds me of a perfume bottle, in all honesty. And I should have a regular flashlight over here to get the shine, the rainbows and the sparkles, but I do not have that. Yeah, Karen, hi, Proto. You're taking a break from construction? I would definitely take it from construction. My husband was in the trades, and it can be really annoying. So there's nothing right here. There's like an inside. Oh, Lord. Let's see if I can do it. Inside flaw, but you can't feel it. So it's from manufacturing. There's nothing here, but I can see it's bubbles. I can see, you see how it's not clear right there? There's some bubbles from when they created this. There is no spoon. Starts at 25. It is from the 30s or 40s. Here's the bottom. It is 5 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide. Art Deco period, when people had to have things like mustard jars that you put on your table. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not super heavy, but it's light. I think it's beautiful. I think I'd keep sugar in it, personally. So, or you could put it in your mermaid bathroom with what? You guys tell me. lots of different things. And the spoons can be found at any thrift store. You can buy replacements on Amazon. You get a family small baby sterling silver spoon and put it in there, whatever you'd like. Okay, so I'm going to say pass. Thank you again for joining me, Poodle, and the two Karens. Okay. You have my shirt, or you love my shirt? It is it's old Pendleton, Poodle, and it's so soft, so comfortable. I've got my big brooch on it. See, it's an old Pendleton, maybe 1970s. I love it. It's really comfortable, but it's going to get about 89 degrees here today. So after the sale, I will not be wearing it. Okay, the next item that I have to offer y'all is this. I'm going to pick it up in two pieces. And I'm going to put in the start. Put in, did I put in pass? Yep. Okay, this start is pretty. This is a Capadante jewelry casket. It is not orange. Karen, chasing vintage. But it is this gorgeous, like purple silver color. Yes, the Daisy and Button Fenton hat was passed on. Poodle, I am now in the Capadamente jewelry casket from, I believe, the 1930s, possibly early 50s. It is bisque. It is a bisque jar. It is 6.5 inches tall and 6.25 inches wide. I think that can't be right. Hold on. Yes. So long, it is 6.5. Tall, it is 6.25 inches. This color is beautiful, Poodle. Thank you. So let me show you the inside. It has a little bit of dirt, not a lot. By that I mean, I'll show you in a minute. So you see the inside, really clean. I didn't clean it. It's clean when I got it. Someone took really good care of it. What I mean by dirt is these little specks here are both supposed to have some coloring, and also I believe it is a little bit of dust. So you see the painted, these are painted silver purple roses. It is 4-footed. And this is not missing. Neither one of them painted on both sides. This is one tiny little ding right here. This is not, there is no more. Here are the feet. Here's the bottom. See how they did the mold? I love this thing. I think it's gorgeous. And then the lid, two separate. Here's the lid. Again, very clean, no chips, no cracks. And here is the top. See again how they didn't paint. It's supposed to be like purple and white, silver, purple and white. And then this has green. Here are the flowers on top. There is no hold on. Let me be positive. Nope. That is not a chip. That is just simply rough. These little rose flower petals are rough. They're not smooth. So there's a couple places where it almost feels like there's a missing piece, but there is not. So it starts at $25. I believe it's from the 1930s. Karen Williams, yes, I am. Yes, I am, but I don't know. She just reached out to me, but I haven't got more information yet. So hopefully we're going to talk soon. So I am going to say pass again. If anyone sees an item they like after this sale runs, you can email me at Ms. C. Walker, MSC Walker at att.net and let me know, and I'll let you know if it's still available. I tend to allow people about 4 days after the sale to inquire about an item, and then I put in the comments that my sale is closed. And that is because I want to make a determination if I'm going to list them on eBay, if I'm going to bring them back at a different time, if I'm going to raise or lower the price, etc. So by Sunday, they will not be available anymore. Just a heads up. Okay, this is just a tiny little item. Everyone here know who this is? Andrea Siddick, right? 1980s 4x4 pansy flower basket. Starts at $12. It's just a gorgeous little basket. And I know we're moving into winter. I know people are thinking about Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and decorating, right? But what about Christmas? I think this would be a really sweet gift. Little girl. She could put her little play makeup or her pencils and pens or little dolly, or go out in the garden with mom when spring comes around and pick tiny flowers and put water in here and create a little bouquet. I think this would be just adorable for a little girl. There's no damage, no label, just a simple hand. Well, I can't say that this is hand. It's not hand painted. However, it also doesn't look like transfer. So if it's hand painted, it's under heavy glaze. Because it doesn't have the look of transfer. It has hand painting, but it's glazed over so heavily that I don't have a clue. I do have an eBay store, Karen, but I don't know the link. So I can't do that. And a lot of, so I'm going to put pass on this. A lot of the items that I'm bringing are also in my store. However, I'm bringing them at different prices, generally speaking, a lower price. And a big part of I want to do live sales is because I want to move away from eBay unless it's a really, holy grail type of find. And why is that? Because I'm not here more than half the month, if not a month at a time. And with my father's health conditions, that's going to become more and more really soon. And I'm not going to be here at all. And so I'm always having to close my eBay store. And then I don't have the pleasure of selling the items. And what's the point in going out and curating and just hoarding them? So this is my idea of a way that I can enjoy myself, a way that I can curate items and enjoy doing that, and then that I can bring them to you. So even I have that eBay store, y'all, it's constantly closed. So the name of my eBay store, Poodle, is the same, Fantastic Finds 9 on eBay. I believe it's 9. So that's it. But again, like I said, next week I'm going down. I hope to be only going down for 2 weeks with my father. But it could turn into a month and my store will be closed. So I really sell maybe one a month, despite how many I have listed. And it's not worthwhile for me. So I'm going to put in pass on this. Hold on. Pass on the basket. Trying to not knock things over nor get too dehydrated. Okay, these things are really interesting. And y'all, another thing I know is that I don't bring lots of items that start at 12 or below because I try to bring more quality items. I don't tend to buy items that are in the $10 and under range. Number one, it's not profitable for me. Number two, I can't find a lot of that in California. And number three, it's just worth my time unless I had a huge audience and could do a lot of those kind of like throw-ins and saving the kitchen, all that. That would be great. But at this point, I can't. Yeah, Poodle, thank you. Okay, so these start at 30. These that in my eBay store forever. I don't know why. These are turn of the century Moriage, likely made in Japan, but their stoppers aren't there. And there's no maker marks. So it could be Czechoslovakian, European. I'm not sure. Salt and peppers. They both have the same amount of holes on the top. They are hand painted. They have no wear. This is all raised. The material is like a it's like a bone china. It's very, very thin, but with the heavy painting and the Moriage, it's hard to get the sound or feel it. I think these are fascinating. So because, and I did a lot of research on these, and these were all made and hand painted individually by, the thousands and different lines and different makers. So I could not nail down an exact place or an exact maker. And so I finally just gave up and went on my gut intuition that they are turn of the century. There's also a little purple paint drops. Where did they go? In the green. See the raised purple? They're there. They're right there. And see this? This is, looks to me like it's where something got a little bit of hot from sitting on the stove. So they might have been used. Same with this here. Okay. So that antique sugared Moriage salt and peppers at 30. And they are about 3x3. And I'm going to say pass. Thank you, Karen. Okay. Now for something totally different. I would say these are likely 1970s. Wood turned candle holders. I think it's like a type of walnut wood, but I can't tell you 100% for sure. They are stacked and turned. So I'll show you what it means in a minute. 1970s, about 6-7 inches tall by about 3 inches wide on the bottom. And so stacked. You see this on the bottom? That is covering up this. You see the handmade lines and the wood that's gone away from here. Here is a very old screw, 1970s style. So what they did was they took individual pieces of wood, stacked them on top, lighter to darker, and then they glued and screwed the whole thing together. And at the top is where you would put your candles. And when I found them, they were a little bit dull, and I just polished them up literally with some olive oil. You see right here the natural wood texture that's showing. And these start at 18. Let me put that in. Now, they fit the theme of autumn and fall. And if I had these, I would go ahead and do one more coating of olive oil or wood polish. And they could be older than the 1970s, but someone handmade these. That's the original pencil mark of them figuring out whatever. I don't know. And that, again, that was a popular thing to do in the 70s, was woodwork. Here you go. That's a really good picture of what they look like. I see Poodle in at 18. Karen, I don't know how to pull those things over, you guys. Someone will have to tell me one day. I see Poodle at 18, and then Karen Chasing came in at 18, and then Poodle's in at 20. I'm going to go ahead and do a 10-second countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bit end. And I have to put that on myself. I do need a mod, but until I have more people on my, I don't want to do that. So it looks as though Poodle, they're yours for $20. Thank you, Poodle. I really appreciate that. So 20 Poodle. I really like them. I debated keeping them, but I have a lot of candlestick holders. So I was like, well, do I really need another one? No, I don't think I do. Okay. So this, thank you again, Poodle. I really appreciate it. So with only a few of you here, I think instead of doing a count, I'm going to say that you're out. And that way it's fair in case someone has a lag. Your veins are full of wood. Poodle, my veins are full of slush. It's one of those days where I just feel like, ugh, I just want to go collapse back into bed, but not an option. Okay, so this item is going to start at $24. But first off, you know what? Let me put sold to my gal Poodle. And then this one starts at 24. Thank you to everyone who's popping in. I appreciate it. I've shown several items. You can go back and watch on the replay and email me at mscwalker@att.net. It's the very first message at the top in the chat. If you see something you're interested in, up until Sunday when I close the sale and it starts over. This is, we all know, Czechoslovakian Bohemian purple hand-painted raised 24 karat gold vase. I'm going to go with that it's from the 1930s, could be as late as the 1950s. It is 7 inches tall. Can you see? Rag. We have to get. Can you kind of tell how this is raised when I turn it like that? It's just very, it's raised, trust me. There is nowhere to the paint. Let's see if we can get this gold. There you go. I don't know what that symbol is supposed to be. A leaf with some flourishes at the bottom. There's nowhere to that. There is a pink, orange, and blue, like a little daisy plants with the leaves. There is stars on the top that are like where they actually cut them out of the applied gold. This gold paint in the curlicues is raised. Here's the pontil. You can see that it's nice and smooth and very well done, but it has that element of older to it. It's blown glass. It's purple. No wear whatsoever. No chips, no cracks, no bubbles. On the back, it has this. Now you can really see. See the hand raised flower? That's the back of it. Seven inches tall. And I started this at 24. It's on eBay for quite a bit more, and it's worth quite a bit more. But you guys are my friends. Seriously, you are. And so I just like to pass it on. I think it would be gorgeous during the holidays. Sorry, bright sun outside, but it's hot here. Okay. I'm going to say pass. Okay, this is a silly little item. God, this is a silly little item. Oh, Karen. Karen, are you in at 24? Hey, Patricia, how's it going? Working in the yard sounds great, except that for me today, it's going to be almost 90. So there is no working in the yard today. I'll probably take a little walk with my dog later. Yes, Karen, I see that you want it. So there's no one else in. So I'm just going to say sold. If I'm actually in the chat, I could do that. If I'm just randomly typing on my computer, I can't. Congratulations, Karen. I think that's an awesome, awesome base. Okay. So again, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Patricia, you can go back and watch on the replay the items I've already shown. And let me know if you want anything up until Sunday. So this is just a silly, fun little item. It starts at 10. It is new. I mean, new like the 2000s. What do you all think it is? You hear that? It is stacking owls instead of stacking Russian dolls. It's stacking owls. It's new. Where is it from? I don't know, but I think adorable. So how many owls are there? 2. Brown and white with gray belly and gray wings. 3, 4, Oh my God. Excuse me. I'll be right back to retrieve that. That was quite funny. Sorry. No, kitty. Don't. That was quite funny. And of course, my cat went right to it. 4, and then it has this little tiny bean, the little tiny baby at the bottom. So there's 5 stacking owls. Now I'm going to put them back together. That was great. You can tell they're newer too because they're so tight. Getting punk, yeah. I went through those punk rock days, Poodle. I'm over that. Although I still listen to an occasional. Oh, Iggy Pop. In fact, I've seen Iggy Pop twice in the last 8 years, and Devo once, a couple other bands. But it's not something, I recently saw Lucinda Williams and Big Thief. That was most excellent. That was a lot of fun. Okay. So here you go. $10 for the 5 stacking owls. New. What a spectacular, fun toy to bring out on Christmas. Give to your little your niece, your nephew. I loved playing with these things as a kid. I don't know why they were so fascinating, but there's something fascinating about taking them apart and putting them together. I don't know. Iggy is, he's a legend. He's a legend. Okay, pass. Okay, this is a hobbyist piece, but I thought it was spectacular. Hobbyist, copper, enameled. There we go. It is 5 by 5, maybe 6 inches tall by about 4 inches wide. Here's the back. It hangs. You can see it was just a hobbyist person making this. I still think it's beautiful. I still think it's worthy of showing and buying. So that's what I did, because, again, I buy stuff I like. $15 start. And it's meant to hang this way. I think it's gorgeous. I think it would be nice above a stove in the kitchen. Maybe above the bathtub in your bathroom, depending on the colors in your bathroom. It definitely, the materials and the time that went into it is more than 15. Yeah, totally, Karen. I love that. So, and then they just scored this, but this is really new copper. The copper alone probably cost this person like $50 to do the copper, to buy and use this copper. Even the hanging hook is copper. So while I'm saying this is new, it actually could be, and it's deeply enameled, it could have been something that street artists did back in the 70s and 80s and sold to the tourists, like on Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley, or whatever similar type of stuff they had in New York. Not Houston, but what is the cool town in Texas, man? Why can I not think of it? Or Nashville, that kind of thing. It could be older, but it's in terrific shape. It can also, because it has this, just set and be used as a trinket dish. What is it, about half an inch? Austin. There you go, Karen. Austin. That's it. Austin. Okay. So again, that was started at 15. Hobbyist street artist piece. And I'm going to say pass. Okay. Now, this is a lot. So this is a lot of Christmas ornaments that vary. And I'm going to start them at 16. These were, so this, for instance, I got from people who traveled the world. They bought this in Japan. It is a little hanging origami like baby with a bell. I am saying Christmas ornaments. She has a little bow, or he has a little bow like a present. I am saying Christmas, but you could very easily repurpose this into hanging from wherever, right? It has a little, Lord only knows what that means. If anyone knows how to translate that, great. And no face. I don't know why. And this bow tie, I think should be up here. It's just on with a piece of string. One could do what they want with it. That's one piece. Another piece that they clearly got somewhere in the Middle East is these hanging slippers with the little pom-poms. This is leather, hard leather, and then very fancy material with the pom-poms, but just simple plastic beads on a leather string. This also looks more Middle Eastern to me than, say, India or Asia. Why it has gold flying leaves coming out of its head? It's a donkey with the old wooden fruit and then this gilded braid. I do not know. Oh, poodle. That's a good idea. Show you the symbols again, Karen? Really? Do you know this? My daughter studied the 3 most popular forms of Japanese language in the 4th and 5th grade, and she was pretty good at it, but I don't have a clue. So here's the symbols. You got an idea, Karen, chasing vintage? And tell me, do you speak this language or read this language? Because, man, that's amazing to me. I can get into understanding some Spanish, some French, German, but and actually I cannot read, but I can pronounce and others just because of a background I have, but I can't. The top one means happy or happiness. See, I was kind of thinking, so maybe this is something you give to someone when they have a new baby. I don't know. So there's those. Then there's this little dude that goes in the lot. This is one of these fabulous little weirdos. He's got his little faux bottle brush tree with the little ornaments on it and his little glasses, his little velvet feet. He's probably from the 70s. Does he stand up on his own? He does. Oh my God. I wish I could actually. There you go. He stands up. I can't believe that. I really didn't expect that he would. He does not. He has a little wooden nose. He does not have a hanger. See his little wooden nose? Okay, and the last item in the Christmas ornament lot is this wooden straw Santa with the wreath. Both sides are the same. This reminds me of like World Market. He is meant to hang. And the total of all of those is 18. What did I say? Did I say that? 18. Did I type in 16? 16. Karen, please. That's fine. Let me change it on my notes. 16. So I'll give someone 30 seconds to see if they want to be in against Karen. Obviously, this is my favorite guy, but I'm not against this little belled origami baby in any way. I really enjoy this, and he's kind of a little fat, so I think he's spectacular. And then the little donkey and the little shoes, I think they're great. Now, Karen, 16 is fine. So I'm going to go ahead and say sold to Karen for 16. Thank you, Karen. I appreciate it very much. I think those are fun. I'm glad that you thought that. Sometimes I pick up things and I think, I'm crazy. Nobody else is going to like this. Nobody wants this. So what am I doing? But, I just go with my heart and my gut. And I have had those hanging around in miscellaneous places for about a year. And I threw them together today. And I'm glad you got them. Okay. So this has a lot of history. And we'll see. I don't have a lot of feelings about it, but I could if I wanted to. And I instead chose not to. I instead chose to be amazed that I found it at all. This is a coffee mug. Red, white, and blue. Oh. Okay. Red, white, and blue. It is from a really well-known pancake house. I used to go when I was a kid and get chocolate chip. They were like chocolate chip dime-sized pancakes or something. IHOP, right? This is from the IHOP. And here's what's on the front. Sambo's fits it. Yeah, that's what it says. Red, white, and blue. Sambo's. No, excuse me. Sambo's has it. Sambo's has it. Now, dollar size poodle. That's it. Dollar size, because you used to actually have the metal dollar size. So maybe I'm out of my mind. Wasn't there a Sambo's restaurant also? God, y'all, help me out. At any rate, this I think is really cool. It's $15 because I don't think you're ever going to see these very often at all. Yep, dollar-sized pancakes. That was my favorite. Why? I don't know. My family would go out about once a month to the IHOP, and we were allowed to get whatever we wanted for breakfast. And I was just like, yes, chocolate chip dollar-sized stack of pancakes with tons of butter and syrup. I mean, I was like 8 years old. It was like eating dessert for my breakfast. It was awesome. Okay, Patricia, there was a Sambo's in the 70s. Thank you. That's what I thought. So not IHOP, but Sambo's. So this is a Sambo's coffee mug. I don't think you're ever going to see another one. Maybe you'll find them on eBay. I didn't, when I bought this months ago, I couldn't find any. So, no, Karen. Karen, I think I know. I think you were a victim of a fire or something, Karen, which I may be wrong, but I think I'm remembering that correctly. And it was awful. And you basically like lost everything. If I'm remembering correctly, maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that was some other poor, heartbroken person in our community about a year ago. So, $15. Sambo's restaurant coffee mug, 1970s. I know they're not around anymore, especially not with a name like that. Okay, so I'm going to say pass. Karen, I may yeah, exactly, Karen. That's what I mean. So it's a little controversial, but it's also a deep part of the history of this country, and it's restaurant chains that we went to, IHOP, Sambo's, Denny's, growing up. And there's a place in my heart that feels good when I think about those restaurants. So what you gonna do? Okay. So we passed on that. So this is really interesting. And I'm going to say starts. Did I say pass? Yeah. Good. Well, okay. At least it wasn't a fire. So that was someone else that happened to, because it's terrible. So this starts at $16. This thing is fascinating to me. Sorry about constantly getting up close and personal with y'all. Sorry. This thing is fascinating. I can't find anything like it. Can't find anything like it. The jury is out about who the maker is. I finally determined that it's not sprayed and it's not like rubber impressed. It's literally encased yellow, turn of the century melt glass pitcher. You see how thin it is? You can see my fingers through here. If that yellow wasn't on here, I expect that we would pick up a ring of fire. You see how thin? I mean, you can almost see my quilt through that. And yet at the same time, it's a little heavy, and that is because of this overlay of yellow paint. It is more like the EPG, early pressed glass, because it has the mold seam. There are no flaws, hashtag no chips, no cracks. It is lemon yellow. This is a light yellow. It is not that color yellow. There's the bottom. It is, let's see if I put this. There you go. That's more like it. It's like a lemon yellow. It's a little off-colored yellow. It's very hard to describe. It is 5 inches tall and 4 inches wide. $16. Turn of the century to 1920s. Little pitcher. Be nice to have the creamer. And like I said, I can't find anything similar to this anywhere on the internet. And I've never seen anything like it in person. It's got all this wonderful fat ruffles, then small ones, then fat, then small grooves. And it's just really cool. So a pale mustard is in between pale mustard and lemon, Poodle. So I'm going to say pass. Again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. So this is just a, remember I said I didn't bring much of this, and I don't. But sometimes I just have to save the little kitsch stuff. This is a little cat pepper, probably 1950s. It's about 4 inches tall. See his little pepper holes. Karen Williams is not Hazel Atlas. It has no markings on the bottom. Now, if Karen Williams, Hazel Atlas did stuff, from the 1900s to the 1920s in melt glass with no markings, then it could be. If you've seen it before and you know that it's Hazel Atlas, please tell me so in the chat. So here's a little kitty. I love its eyes. And it's just hanging out. Here's a tail. Hashtag no chips, no cracks. I'm just going to embed that. I'm going to learn how to pull comments over and pin things, and I'm going to pin no chips, no cracks. Here's its stopper. I see Karen Chasing Vintage is in at 10. A pepper, no salt. Here's a little eyes. It says hello. Hello. And then it's got sassy little tail. Reminds me, I'm sure it's intended to be a Siamese with the light brown and the cream. So that face, I know. I know. It looks like I know this is cliche, but the cat that just ate the cream, right? So I'm gonna count it down. Nope, I'm not gonna count it down. I'm poodle. Right. I can barely pin brooches on anymore. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say sold to Karen. Thank you, Karen. The face. No, see, and that's why I knew it was a single. And it didn't have its salt, but it was just too cute, and I was able to bring it at a price that, you know. So thank you for appreciating that. Okay, here we go. And then I have some items from my last sale that I marked down a little bit, and some jewelry at the end. Jewelry is a hobnail lidded candy jar or vanity makeup. I don't know. It is an amber, but like frosted. Even though it's not frosted, it is frosted. It's not, like the honey amber or the whatever. It is, where'd it go? I believe it's the 60s or 70s. I'm going to go with more towards the 60s. It is 6.5 inches wide and about 5 inches tall to the top of this. And I'm going to put in the start and then finish showing it to you. It starts at 18. Here's the lid. And it's I don't know the maker. Okay, there was a lot of hobnail out there. I love the way these optics are like this. It could use like a soaking. There's a little bit of it's not hard water. I'll show you in a minute. There is, I think someone stored like bath crystals in here. That's where I'm going with this, because it's kind of like a salt or something. This right here, you see how occluded, or I'm probably saying that word wrong, up here? It's inside. I pressed and I pressed, looked and I looked, and even though there's like this line right here, and it looks broken, it doesn't go through, and it also hasn't really been repaired. So I'm puzzled by it. But that is almost looks like there's something in the way. Almost looks like something glass. Karen, I can't see. There's a heart in the way. You said on my screen. So this is the lid. And this is the bottom. Now, so is that, yeah. So you see the little white things? Cleaned the lid off of those. It's just some kind of like, I don't know. It reminds me of salt, like as if the glass is leaching a little bit over the years, but it comes right off. And there's, so I would just soak it and take a soft dishwasher brush and get rid of it. Here's the inside. No chips, no cracks. And the bottom. Okay, see, the bottom has hobnails also. And there's the leaching salt. See that? It's very odd, because I can't imagine they stored this in like a powdered room. Bristol? No, I don't know. I couldn't find anything like this. But Bristol sounds a little appropriate. Yeah, I could see that. So, but it's that, then also the way that this is leaching like this, it's not damaging the glass in any way, but that is why I go with that. I believe in the 60s, it possibly could even be older. It could be the 40s or the 50s. Does it have a seam? It does. So it's EPG, early pressed glass. Where'd the seam go, y'all? Here it is. See? And you can see how the bottom was applied to the top. Anyway, I think it's really pretty. And there you go. 18. And I'm going to say pass. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Will help me out because I do not and will never know everything there is to know about vintage. I would be like a museum in every country and every state all around the world if I could get all that to my head, and that's not going to happen. Okay, so this is another cute sentimental Christmas ornament. This is $5 on its own. It is a plastic, probably 1970s rocking horse to hang on your Christmas tree with no damage. And it does rock. If you put it on a table, he rocks back and forth. I should have a little board like David, except I would drop everything. He will rock back and forth on your table, so you don't have to hang him on a tree. No damage. $5. Plastic. Probably made in Hong Kong, would have been back then. These were the type of things that you'd pick up at Woolworths. Reminds me of the machines outside the stores that you put a dime in and got to ride a crazy, bucking, very uncomfortable experience. Why that was cool, I have no idea. It was so uncomfortable. You always bugged your mom for that dime, and it was not fun. I mean, at least looking at it now, I'm like, why did I sit in those uncomfortable metal things that just threw you back and forth? It was ridiculous. I see Karen in at 5, and I'm going to say sold. Oh, 60 sold too. That was interesting, Karen. If I could type, that would help a lot, wouldn't it? Is it? Thanks, Karen. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you. Is it hot everywhere else in the country? Is it nice? Is it raining? I mean, it was cooled down to fall temperatures here, and I actually put an extra blanket on my bed, and now it's boiling. Typical October weather for California. We get a huge heat wave in October, and here we are. And then after that's gone, we'll go into hopefully rain, and I get freezing temperatures January through April on a regular, and often a little bit of snow, even though I'm only maybe 500 feet above the ocean. Yeah. It gets super, super cold. I don't like winter. I would prefer that it was hot and summer and I could strip off my clothes instead of trying to pile on so many clothes and never getting warm. But that's just me. Okay. These start at 25. There are 3 of them. They are something that actually I used to collect. Both my father and my grandmother would give me these. My grandmother had a collection that she gave me, and my dad, when he did a little bit of traveling, would bring them back. We're in Mendocino, California, not the county of Mendocino, not the town of Mendocino. Oh yeah, I grew up as a little kid in Davis, Karen. And Davis is a beautiful little university town. My father was a professor there. He's been retired for quite a while. So I have 3 of them, and they're what I call world dolls. Each one is a different country, and they're all hand done. Rubber. This one is a rubber face. I'm going with this one is some type of Dutch. She has her skirt. This is very stiff linen. She has her little apron. And she actually does have bloomers as well. Her arms move a little bit, but not a lot. And her hands are just felt, just cut out felt. This is hand embroidered or tatted lace. All the clothes are handmade. I'm not sure why she has a chain with a bow on her apron. No idea. The legs do not move. They are felt. Is one. This lady is spectacular. She is more of a paper mache composite. I believe that this is real hair. I think she is Moroccan. I don't know, because I've got another one too. She has little plastic hands and fingers. There is nothing wrong with plastic hands and fingers. She has the double layered dress, her little bloomers. Her legs do not move. Her arms move a little bit. She has that really fancy cap. And again, I really believe that her hair, where is she, is, if it's not real hair, it's dang close to it. Yeah, Poodle, me too. And then we've got this incredible lady. And this incredible lady, for some reason, is meant to hang. She has a hanger. The others do not. She has this amazing tassel thing going on with this one piece that's off the side. I would just cut that off. In fact, I should have done that before I brought it. Or you could tease it back down like I just did. She is a cloth head with, again, what I believe to be real hair. What country do you all think she's from? Netherlands? France? Not entirely sure. She has this gorgeous hand crocheted, poofed out sleeve on the bottom. So these are like some kind of very fancy costumes. You know, they people weren't dressing like this even back then. She doesn't really have bloomers, but her dress is lined with this crepe. Her feet do not move. She has some staining on the bottom. I believe that's from this copper edging that goes around on the back. And this is her hanger. She was meant to hang. And even that tells me her age. That is like 1950s, 1940s rope. Don't ask me how I know that. I just do. I'm not a crafter, but there she is. There's nothing wrong with any of their faces or their hands. Grease. There. I'll go with grease. Okay, so all 3 of those were $25. I used to have a huge collection of these. I still have a couple from my grandma, and they're not impossible to come by, but they're not easy to come by either. And I think that doll collectors pay up to $20, $25 or more a piece for these because they're just not out there anymore. I did a little gasp when I found them. We're called Platonite. Platonite. Well, Karen Williams, I'm going to write that down. Platonite. Platonite. Yeah, I know not all Hazel Atlas was marked. Platonite. That's fascinating. I'm going to, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm going to look that up. Because, yeah, it's been really puzzling to me. I'm like, what is this? It's really old, but it's so odd. And it just, yeah, so great. Thank you. I love learning. Okay, so I have 4 of these. They are starting at $35. They are cherry poodle. It ended up in a doll museum. Boy, I'd be really mad too. I hope you got a good price for it. I mean, there is that, right? Yeah, you know, we often just don't know what we have. Okay, so these are, I have 4 of them, $35. They're bone china. They are, the cups are about 2.5 inches tall. I'm going with the 1940s. Here's the back. They have the gold edging around them and on the handle. Here's the inside. Is that gold? No. I believe this is transferware. Yeah. This is transferware, not hand painted, but nonetheless, it's beautiful. Can you hear that? That. Cherry china. Sorry, I'm having allergies. Made in, these were made 40s. Occupied Japan. Occupied Japan. That's one of the cups. Hashtag no chip, no cracks. Here's the saucers. Occupied Japan. That was something that I used to collect figurines and the tiny child tea sets and stuff heavily. All Occupied Japan. I only have a few of those pieces left. And I don't know why they went out of style. Because I think Occupied Japan is incredible. And it's, again, a huge part of our history. So I have 4 of these. Starting at $35. Beautiful, small, see? Small, elegant, like tea would not be right unless it was very strong. Espresso coffee, I mean, they're tiny. And definitely thin bone china. Occupied Japan. And I'm going to put, pass. Thank you all for continuing to hang out with me, and anyone, Cabinet Cups, thank you, Karen. And for anyone who's shown up in the last 5 minutes, 20 minutes, thank you for coming to my channel. I appreciate it. This is the 4th live sale, and I'm excited at the possibilities, and I know that I'll get there. And any support, just even a thumbs up, is enormously helpful. So I really appreciate it. And I will have my sales every Wednesday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. 3:30 Eastern Standard Time, 12:30 Pacific Daylight Time. And after my sale is closed, you can email me at mswalker@att.net. I'll drop it in the chat. It's at the very top. If you scroll back, if you see something that you like, you can email me, and up through till Sunday, if that item has not been sold, we can work something out. On Sundays, I close and I start over. Okay, now this starts at $25. Thank you, Poodle. This is definitively a fall winter tablecloth. It's stunning. It is, hold on, let me make sure I read it right. It is Stoff, S-O-F, France, Laura Lancel Winter Chalet Tablecloth, 100% cotton, 63 by 137. 100% cotton. It's got their little rabbits, house, and a moon. Maybe you can see it better here. Yep, there you go. It's this beautiful, kind of like brown mauve color. Someone never used this. I looked these up, and they originally sold for about $70, $80 in places like Williams-Sonoma. They were a big deal. So this is not vintage, but with winter coming up, I think it's great. So it's $25. It will definitely fit your, see how much tablecloth is in there. It will definitely fit the majority of people's home. It's upside down. Home dining room tables, 63 by 137. 100% cotton. Just even finding something that's 100% cotton these days is incredibly difficult, let alone $25 when this was, probably $80 originally. You can wash it, and because it's got this brown mauve, even though there's this white, stains are just not going to show as much. Let's see the overall pattern. There's the overall pattern. Stuff. Bye, Karen. I'll see you later. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the education on that item. I love it. Okay. So this, if anyone needs a tablecloth for the upcoming autumnal, oh my God, say that word, autumnal, Sue Spezio said it recently. It's something we don't say much. Here's this, 25, new in package. It's about maybe 4 years old, but never been used. So I'm going to say pass. Now, I am going to switch to, I'm just going to make sure, because the other stuff is a few items from my last sale. Oh, no, there's one more item, and then I'm going to do jewelry, and then I might bring a few items from my last sale. Not sure. Okay, so first off, let me put this here. Okay. Oops. I put that in the wrong place. All right. So this. Excuse me. Went down the wrong tube. This is this. It's actually, there you go. Sorry. It's a deep lemon yellow at the bottom. It reminded me of, oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. What is it starting at? 30. Ooh, that. Ooh, ooh. Just made that sound in your little kid. When I first saw this, I snatched it up. It reminded me of Blanco, right? Because it's got that blended Blanco thing going on. But I couldn't find anywhere where Blanco makes anything like this. So I'm not going with that. That's some of the tag, which shouldn't be on there. But of course, with my life, it is. Sorry about that. I'll get rid of it. This is the bottom. The ponto is totally smooth. Really nice. This is not applied. It is encased. As you can see how this is clear. It's not, encased isn't the right word. This is the glass. It is varying. Yeah, encased is the right word. There's clear and then there's the yellow inside that is encased. Here's the top. That is not a chip. That's a tiny bit of dirt. Okay, so I'm puzzled by this piece. It's absolutely gorgeous. I have some pictures of it up on Instagram. I don't think it's older than 10 years, but I could be wrong. What I do think is that it's a Polish glass. And I could be totally wrong because I'm just not that savvy, but it's not, I can tell you this, it's not Chinese because that's what I got stuck on. It's about 11 and a half, maybe 12 inches tall. I got really stuck on if it was one of these reproductions made in China. And I did a lot of research. I cannot find anything exactly like this, but it is not. It's not Chinese glass. And so, but it's not Blanco. It's not Italian. It's not anything that high end, but it's not low end. And so I went for Polish. And it's just beautiful, beautiful optic, dark lemon yellow, 12-inch tall vase. $30. And I am going to say pass. It's also on, like I said, it's on Instagram post of mine under the same name, Fantastic Finds. So if someone is watching this later and is interested and you didn't see a good enough clear picture of it, check out the picture on Instagram and send me an email if you're interested. Okay, so now it's getting hot here, you guys. Now we're going to do some of my jewelry, just a little bit. So the first item I'm going to bring out is either one of these. These are from the early 1970s, mid 1960s. They are like almost like a celluloid plastic. There's orange and there's yellow. How long are they? Pretty dang long. Standing up now. So right down to this line. Halloween colors coming up. They are going to be choice. Let me put yellow or orange necklace. 60s to 70s. Yeah, they're totally mod. They're really awesome. They're going to be choice, starting at 15 each, and they're worth it. I've never seen anything like it. Let me put that in there. 15. The yellow has the little yellow in between, and the orange has the orange. And there's, you see this, that ring. The rings are darker than the large plastic pieces, and then they just have those little plastic balls and put together with these little chains. Now, the only other thing, there you go. The only other thing I could think of that these could have been, and someone came along and transformed them, although I wore them for years and I don't see the place where that could have happened, is things like this used to be belts, right? Although you'd have to have a really small waist for that to be a belt, but it's possible. If you love plastic, and I love plastic, I like plastic items more than glass, ceramic, wood, hands down plastic. If you like old plastic, you pass up on these, are the type of plastic that you just want to touch and touch and touch and wear and be funky with. And with Halloween coming up, if that's your jam, or just dressing up one or both, they're spectacular. They are 16 inches long, hanging like this, which makes them 32 inches around. So they're 16 inches long when you're wearing them. And I see Poodle in at 16. I mean, I have owned these for 30 years, and I found them at a thrift store 30 years ago. No kidding. Yeah, Poodle, totally. I freaking love these things. And the sound they make. That old plastic sound, like the celluloid. I could be crazy. I know my bake lights, but I could be really screwing up here. And these are old pieces of bake light from the 1940s. I mean, they're just really that cool. So I am going to set aside, and Poodle, I'm going to do a quick countdown on those just because they're fabulous. And then sold too. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bid end. I'm going to miss these, but I'm never going to wear them again, so it's time. Yeah, 100%. Okay. Invite my chat. Sold to Poodle. Poodle. Which one do you want? Or do you want both? Orange, yellow. They're both Halloween colors. They're both fabulous. Orange. Good choice, Poodle. Orange. Okay. Total for 15. Did I say you said Steve Poodle? You always bid up by $1. Bless you. Thank you, Poodle. You always do that. And I always have to double check because I'm like, no, I said, but she put in $1 or $2 more. So thank you, Poodle. Okay. Poodle. Orange. Okay. Now I have this 1970s, and I have a bunch of these. I'm just bringing one keychain, and it is going to start at $10. It is missing one rhinestone. Some of them glow. This one does not. It is a white cream ball before I try to measure it, let's do this. There you go. With orange on it. Orange streaks on this concaved heliotrope. I just made that word up. Bead. It's got rhinestones on the bottom, but there is one right there gone. These would be the type of things that you would go into a store and they'd be hanging by the register on a card. Filigree, and they could be as old as the 60s because, and I'll tell you why I say that in a minute, it's got this filigree part. And then the reason why I say as old as the 60s is because it's got this kind of chain, and that kind of necklace style became really popular in the late 50s into the 60s. And didn't I say the start? I think I said it, but I didn't put it in. Sorry, 10. And like I said, I have about, I don't know, some more of these, and some of them glow. This one, I'll check it again. But it is my memory that it does not glow. No, it does not. But it's got this really awesome orange, Karen, orange, like that. And then these are the really good old keychains that open like this. And then this part has to come, this has to go all the way up. That undoes. And then you put it back on and lock that down really tight. So these are the type of keychains they don't really make anymore. The ones that don't come apart, that don't break. There's no wear. There's no maker marks. They're from the 70s. New merch. And they do glow. Yep, exactly. Okay, so that one was 10. And I'm going to say pass. And then let me put my, this is a fish brooch. And it is going to start at 15. This is a fish brooch. Oh, wait, Karen, you want the keychain, honey? Can stop in my tracks. Okay, hold on. Excellent choice, by the way. I'll have more later. Okay, sold to Karen. You got it. All right. So now, where am I at? Fish brooch. That's okay, Karen. I understand. I've been there. Okay, so this fish brooch starts at 15. On the back, it's a J&J brooch, which is a better quality of costume jewelry. This is from the late 70s, early 70s into very early 80s, maybe. It's got a blue eye, and you see his stripling of colors. This little fish with his glub, glub, glub. Remember doing that as a kid? This is not this. This is applied colors, if you will, where they do like some kind of a acid bath. It's not acid, but it's something bath, and then apply a light stripping of metal over top. That's what this is. So it's similar to like the cabochon or jelly bellies, right? Except that it's a metal belly. It's just slightly raised. See? Like there is the J. There's no damage. This is a better quality metal. $15 is a great price for this. It's got your basic C clasp or safety clasp, so you know it's not older vintage in that way. Got his little tail and his little fins. J&J. The back is so a brushed kind of applied base metal. So I'm going to say pass on the little fish. Thank you guys for still being here. I appreciate it. Now, this is an older piece of jewelry. It is a vintage brooch with enameled flowers and filigreed. Orange flowers, Karen. Sorry. Orange flowers. Sorry about that. This is a really cool piece. This is possibly, it's definitely 1950s or older. Only thing that would, with the clasp, yeah, it could be into the 1930s, turn of the century, based on the clasp. Let me show it to you. But I don't want to age it that old just because I can't be positive. So I'm not. I'm just going to go with 50s. But you see how the clasp is that really long, thin, and you see how it pokes out at the end here? It doesn't just stay safely inside the clasp. That's an indication, generally speaking, of 30s, 40s, and early 50s. They quickly did away with that because it was dangerous. See the filigree? I have no idea the maker. There is very slight color differences, but it is not wear to the metal with the raised leaves. Hashtag no chips, no cracks. These are an old like celluloid plastic on this filigreed piece. And it is about 2 inches. Don't you just love this giant freaking crazy ruler that's been in my dad's workshop forever? Because my mom and dad built this house all by themselves. It was prefab, but they literally, other than pouring the concrete, they got this giant prefab building and they built it lock, stock, and barrel. Took them about 4 years, but they did it. And whenever I'm up there, I feel like I'm surrounded by the love that it took them doing it together to build this homestead. And that's a really good feeling. Sometimes it's a little sad, but usually I just feel like a big hug. Yeah. So this started at 22. Did I not say that? I certainly didn't type it in. What is wrong with me? I'm sorry, y'all. 22. And if I don't see any interest, I'm just going to say pass. Thank you, Poodle. It is a great story. My mom got a tiny inheritance from her dad when he passed. And they bought 22 acres up here in the what was then really the middle of nowhere. It was just sheep and apples. And logging was a huge industry and was a small industry at that point for the redwoods, right? The redwoods that all got shipped down San Francisco to build all the houses. but they got a steal, and then they built this place and made the driveway that it's a road that, you know, goes on forever all the way down to the ravine where the river runs in the winter, and built trails and planted trees because it was all grazed out from the sheep, and logged out all the redwoods, although I have a huge redwood grove down that side of the hill. But I don't go down there very often anymore by myself because I have had bear scat, fresh new bear scat, every day since I'm back up here. And I regularly have mountain lion scat, you know, on the driveway or near my home. That worries me too much, although it should. But the Redwood Grove area down there is one that you just go down and hang out and walk around, and it's very wide, and it's just me. So I'm like, yeah, hard pass till this bear goes away. And we're going to pass on this. I just am like, nope. Mm-mm. I have an agreement. The bear can roam around at night, and I'll stay inside. And the mountain lions, I won't go down to the Redwood Grove by myself. Just don't me. And so far, it's worked out. Okay. I got 2 more items. And since you guys have been here for my last sale, I'm not going to show you items over again. So this is just probably, I'm going to go with like Avon, or I don't even know. But it's adorable. It's cute. It's got a green rhinestone belly. It's got a white rhinestone top. It is a teeny tiny little rabbit with its little nose. It's a silver tone. It's probably 1970s. Again, something you would pick up at Woolworths for relatively inexpensive. They're just little plastic stones. There's nothing super fancy about it. It's got its little feet. And this is $4. And I will put that in the chat in a minute. At least I think it's a rabbit. Maybe it's not. I don't know. And it's just, how big is it? 3/4 of an inch? Super tiny. So if I see, super tiny little guy, could go here, go on your super tiny little guy. I'm going to say pass on that pin. Yeah, Dana. Hi, Dana. You made it. I'm almost done. You're going to have to go. Look backwards unless you saw something in the preview you want me to show. So, Poodle, you want the yellow necklace too? Because it's just irresistible, right? I'm telling you, I've had these for 30 years. Getting off of them was really hard. I'm just putting it in the chat. 16, right, Poodle? Oh, yep, you bid 16. 16. Oh, Poodle. Thank you, Poodle. Good choice. I'm telling you, they go together. And you'll never find another one. Okay, so 2 more pieces of jewelry, and then Dana Grace, if you see anything from the preview, or if you're scrolling up and down real fast that you are interested in, or something from last sale that I closed the items, let me know. Okay, so this, brother, the ring light blows this out, is this horseshoe oval silver tone brooch. That's good right there. There is no stones, but the metal is worked in those lines right there. God, these things drive me nuts. And these lines right there. And then, so the outside has the lines, the inside is solid. It is 1970s. For the life of me, I know that this is one of my better brooches. But I can't make out the makers on here. When I was younger and I sold this, I could read these. I could figure it out. Sep. Oh, okay. See, I knew it. I was gonna say this, but I was like, no, I can't say that because I don't know that it is. Now I can say it. I actually saw it. It's a Sarah Coventry. It's a Coventry. And it is going to start, hold on, at 14. It's going to start at 14. It is just really sleek and simple with the ridged lines here, the smooth lines here. The swirl, it's just really elegant, really simple. No paint loss. There's the Sarah Coventry mark on the back. There's the clasp. It's a Coventry. I'm going with 70s because it has deco flow. I don't think that would come back like this in the 80s, 70s, possibly super late 60s. Silver tone. Nowhere. How $14? That won't help you guys at all. 2.5, almost 3 for the Sarah Coventry silver brooch. I wish. There you go. That's pretty good. Really elegant. And there you go. Okay. I'm going to say pass. Little I hide from construction men all the time. Man, when I was young, they were so annoying. You know, cat calling, and the whole crowd of them would get into it, and it was just embarrassing. Just embarrassing. Okay, this is my last piece of jewelry. This is a moon set. I think it's celluloid, but it's really hard to tell. I'm just writing the starting price down on my paper. Sorry. Okay. So this is another thing I held on to forever that I wore on a regular basis. Not anymore. Hold on. It is like a mint turquoise. That's not making any sense, but that's what I got for y'all. There you go. It is early 1950s, late 1940s. I do not know the maker anymore. I do know that it's really old. It is starting, it's a set. It is starting at 25. The choker. You see the much older connectors right there. You see on the inside how it's like a piece of metal doubled over clasp. It's not showing up so well. And then the top choker part, you see the little filigreed ball, and this old thin metal linked hand linked. There's even a little bit of green tarnishing on this chain, but metal loss in this old clasp. That's what leads me to believe it's 1940s. I cannot call it Bakelite, although it wouldn't surprise me if, again, this is something I'm missing, that it is Bakelite. And it has, you have to have a small neck. It has the 2 clip-on earrings that go with it. No maker's mark, no wear, no tear. And this one as well. Sometimes I look at these things with this kind of metalwork, and especially the necklace, and I wish I could tell for sure if it was Bakelite or not. And I often wonder how many of them were actually made, and were they made? I think this was actually mass produced. It reminds me of Listener, but it doesn't have a mark, so I can't say that it is Listener. So these are the earrings. Poodle. That's hilarious. So, and how that's about the extent of that clasp, and it 7, so it's about 14 inches around. So I mean, it's a choker. That's what, the chokers came in vogue kind of in the Victorian times, where you just wore the ribbon with a brooch, and then they started doing the necklaces like in Downton Abbey that had, just a slight drop of something, but the chain hung way down the back with their backless dresses. And then we went to the flapper era with the long beaded necklace, and then back into the 30s with chokers and earring set. So there you go. I am going to say pass. So, how y'all doing? I'm hot. I'm willing to bet it's 80 degrees inside my house. Poodle. Do you know how to speak Spanish, Poodle? Because my Spanish is poquito, very poquito. I couldn't tell someone to shut the gate. I used to know what the word was for door and open and close, but I don't anymore. I would have just made a gesture. Like, that's what I got. So, there you go, Poodle. Thank you all for being here. Dana Grace, is there anything you saw in the preview that you were interested in me showing to you, or are you just coming here to hang out, laugh, learn, and have fun? Because that's cool too. Killer, you need to let me know before I close the sale, because I'm about to close it. I'm going to do a recap. I don't do recaps. It's but that said, I don't do recaps. Closing this live sale. Once again, if anyone has won an item today, please send me your YouTube name, your real name, your address, including your zip code, your PayPal linked account, or you can check out as a guest if that's what you want. I use PayPal, to mscwalker@att.net. Within 24 hours, if I don't receive anything from you and you are a new buyer, I will assume that you didn't really want it that badly, and it will go on to the next sale. I will invoice by Saturday and I will ship by Tuesday. And if you see anything you like when you're watching this, you can reach out to me at that email as well. Okay. Thank you all for coming. Hope everyone's having a great day. Go out there and do what you need to. Kick some butt. Take some time for yourself. Call a friend. Be safe. Thank you, everyone. Bye.